Today's lesson is about relative clauses. We're going to do a couple lessons about relative clauses, and today's is just a general lesson about what they are and how we use them. So, relative clauses are when we add information to a sentence about a noun in the sentence. So relative clauses attach to a noun in the sentence. Let me give you an example. Here's my first sentence. My first sentence is going to be, I bought new shoes. So here's my first sentence. My second sentence is, the new shoes are for running. Now, what we can do with a relative clause is we can combine these two sentences, which sounds more fluent and it makes communicating easier. So let's take a look at how we would do that. I bought new shoes which are for running. So I've just taken these two sentences and combined them using what we call a relative pronoun. Here, this is our relative pronoun, which, in order to combine these two ideas right here. So what we're giving more information about is we're giving more information about the shoes in the sentence. So what are our relative pronouns? We have several relative pronouns. We're going to start with the most common. Which and that. These are to define things. We use these when we're replacing them or when we're adding extra information about things. In this case, I used which because I was adding extra information about shoes. Who. This is used for when we're giving more information about people. Let me give you an example of this. That is the girl who works at the post office. So in this case, we're using who because we're giving extra information about the girl. Where. This is for place. That is the house where I grew up. When. This is for time. The 1800s was a time when people moved out west in the United States. So these are the main relative pronouns. We also have one possessive that we use, which is whose. That's our possessive relative pronoun. So in general, we use them to connect two different ideas in sentences. One of the big mistakes that people make is the difference of when to use which and when to use that. We're going to look at that in our next lesson. So this is just a general overview of when to use relative clauses and how we can use them. Look in our next lesson for why we use which and that, a common mistake that people make. Thanks. Have a nice day.